Just as you'd begun to tune in to the Garden Mixer for interesting plants and fresh ideas, Leslie Harris decides we're going to do an episode on hydrangeas. So, to ensure that I actually showed up, she cunningly invited my fellow GardenRant nemesis, horticulture magazine columnist and newly minted radio host Scott Beuerlein to inject life into a genus that's been beaten to death by every media outlet from Better Homes and Gardens to TikTok to here. 300 million plants are bought worldwide every year. So, what's the appeal? And how do we pick, plant, and prune them? All today on the Garden Mixer.
I'm Leslie Harris. She's Marianne Wilburn. And yes, we were wise enough to include a third agent so that she wouldn't spend the entire episode berating me for even choosing this topic. Scott Beuerlein is a friend of both of ours, plus he is the director of horticultural outreach at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden, which we like to call Botanical Garden and Zoo. And he is on GardenRant with Marianne. They have done a series called Dear Gardener, where they give each other a hard time. So all three of us can sort of add to the tension here about a really good topic, but yes, it is hackneyed. It has been done. Watch us inject fresh things into it. And for example, a hydrangea sort of colored garnish for my drink.
Oh,
Cheers.
colored garnish. I was going to say, no, we've done that already. Hydrangea's not a good idea as a garnish for a drink. Danger, Will Robinson. Yeah.
I went with blueberries. Are they blue? Are they pink? Both. Hey, we're going to talk about that sort of thing. What do you have?
Yeah, I thought this was a brilliant choice on your part. I think in our Cocktails Illustrated book that I gave Leslie during our last live session at Christmas, she chose page 109, which was a blue mule. And I was reading through it, and it said that but blueberries are deceptively blue. You think they're blue, but they're actually pink, which is sort of like that Nico blue hydrangea you bought last year. And then the next year, it had a gender reveal, and it turned out to be a little girl. And so you're slathering it with all of that espoma is it espoma that makes the blue tone or the holly? What is it that
I don't know. Let's concentrate on cocktails.
Okay, sorry. We'll move into this. So this is a blue mule, except for I did not use the ginger that they said. I used peach schnapps, and then I used elderflower in this with vodka because I'm just so in love with elderflowers right now. It's like for us, we were recording this a little bit early, listeners, and elderflowers are just starting to go out. And I had so much elderflower whatever in England that I'm all over the elderflower. So I threw some in. How about you? I know you changed the cocktail. You can never not change it.
I had
What'd
to change
you do?
it. Vodka, no, we don't have that. So it's gin, it's Hendrick's, blueberries muddled, simple syrup, and I did have some lemon juice. So there we go.
There we go. So no ginger. Neither of us did that. I think that would be really great. I did throw some mint in there too. So why even look at the cocktail book?
To get an idea, which is why I always look at recipe books, just to get an idea. And then I'm on my own. It's just like gardening. Well, thank you for your ideas. I'll be doing this on my own. And listeners, we hope that you do whatever you want to do, no matter how much you listen to us. All right, we have, as Aaron, our buddy Aaron Shannon likes to call it, the hydrangification of America, to discuss later today. But first, we have a few things on Clear Up Corner. Nothing very exciting. The sheath around an allium is a spathe. Good to know. What else?
Yeah, when I think of space, I always think of those beautiful space that you find on arums or aroids, that like a
protection on half the side.
Protection, yeah, a little half of protection. So that's cool to know, and I will probably forget later.
I have one summer drummer coming up. I don't know what happened to all the other. I saw the foliage. I'm like, oh yeah, I planted those summer drummers. And no, they are not happening except for this one, but I got some photographs of it. What?
Hang on. So my summer drummers were pretty, they were playing no music this year. No inflorescence, no scapes, no flowering scapes. What's going on then? I put it down to maybe the cold weather did something bad to them. I mean, you
I
had the
don't know.
same cold we had, right?
Yes, and where
Could that have done it?
I lost them was more exposed than the one that I have, which is actually in a nook outside of your guest bedroom window right there.
My personal guest bedroom. Oh, I
Mhm.
love it. Leslie has different guest bedrooms in her multi-story mansion for each of her guests. Uh,
Holy cow.
so, so, so that is really interesting. We're going to have to compare notes on that. Yeah, I think I maybe have 3 or 4 from about 25 planted in various
Ooh.
areas in the garden. So maybe the 3 or 4 got planted a little deeper
Uh,
and were a little bit more insulated. Maybe it wasn't the cold, maybe it was some crazy allium virus. I have no idea, but I am disappointed.
what else do we have here?
Oh, World Flora Online. Yeah, that's right. Because I was sort of, well, how many species of allium are there? I thought there were over 600. Well, I was technically right, but there's actually 969 species, as recognized by World Flora Online. And if you do not know WFO, as we like to say in the know, I totally am not in the know, but this is a terrific site that I want to bring your attention to. We'll put it in the notes. This is a collaborative effort with Missouri Botanic Garden, Q. Oh, come on. It's just gone out of my head. Denver
Oh, wait, I've
Botanic?
got it. I've
No.
got it. You put it in the notes. New York Botanical, Kew, and Edinburgh, and Missouri.
Yes, New York Botanic Gardens, of course. Denver should be in this. Denver, what are you doing? You need to be part of this too. And the Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh. And they have amassed the names of these of species and are constantly categorizing them so that you can see that what the proper name of them is. That was a ridiculously stupid way of saying if you're not sure about the name of a plant, you think that it may have changed, go there and put it in, and you're going to see all the synonyms for it. You're going to see if what you put in is a synonym. And Leslie has lost consciousness by now. I thought you were sleeping while I
No,
was
it's
doing
it's warding off a sneeze.
but this is a really terrific for you plant nerds out there, and I know there are many of you. This is a really great thing to have on your desktop as a little quick bookmark. World Flora Online, and it is it's definitely a bookmark on mine, even though I cannot seem to describe what it is exactly. It's just basically a nerd's Bible for plants. It tells you the year that the name was changed. It's so
Oh, that
cool.
changes everything. Hmm. Well, it would have helped me as I brought up the allium called that I was calling something completely different. Turns out it was siculum, but it's Nectiscordum siculum, which is the one that looks like it's got fireworks, little pink fireworks coming off of it. So, yeah. So, is that where you figured it out, or in one of your many
That's
books?
actually where I was going back to, but now I have completely forgotten what I was looking up. But it was definitely that particular allium, which I think has gone back to allium from being nectoscrotum. Scrotum,
No, don't say that.
the very masculine allium, as if all the balls were not enough. Yeah.
Nectaroscordum. Listeners, don't listen to that person. Listen to
Siculum
me.
subspecies bulgaricum. All right. So, what is the point of these encyclopedias if I'm not even remembering what I'm reading? Okay.
You mentioned Phacelia. You didn't know the common name. It seems to be Lacy Phacelia, as if that would help.
Oh, oh, good. Thank you for clearing that up. Now I'm just going to say lacy fellatio instead of lacy Facilia, which brings a whole nother meaning to it. Someday I will remember the name of that plant.
We always want to clear up as we're clearing things up. If you are a listener to this episode, thank you for joining us. But if you want more of the Garden Mixer, we have one more sip of the Garden Mixer, which is available only on Substack. So go check us out, the Garden Mixer Substack, and you will see more information there.
Yeah, you can become a paid subscriber and join our One More Sip committed community, and where we have a lot of fun, play and chat,
And more
all
cocktails.
sorts of stuff. And more cocktails. That's right.
We finish our cocktails.
We do. Speaking of cocktails, the elderflower in this is rocking it, I have to say. This looks very girly, this cocktail. The light is not good in here. Like, I can see it really well as this pink thing. It looks like a ruby red thing. My hair looks brown. It's not good, but that's okay. It's an awesome cordial to put into something. And if you we're little past the elderflower season, we're getting into elderberry season later. You're gonna have to protect them from the birds. You can make some elderberry wine. But think about in the fall maybe putting some very straight Sambucus nigra into your garden and using those beautiful flowers to create elderflower cordial, which is Saint Germain is actually the liqueur, but you can just make a very straight cordial that is sugar syrup, that simple syrup that has been muddled with those flowers and steeped in those flowers with a little bit of lemon juice. And then you just bottle it and you put a little spoonful into some seltzer or something, and it's a gorgeous summer drink without any alcohol.
Could I just go back to what is wrong with brown hair? Because I used to have brown hair and I rather liked it.
There's nothing wrong with brown hair. I'm just, my hair is gray-ish. It's graying, and it looks like it's just really brown right now. So there we go.
Well, count your lucky stars. Here's Scott. Ready? Hey, Scott, the radio star is with us, Scott Beuerlein.
Yeah, I was able to squeeze you in. It was difficult and a lot of challenges really to get to be here right now, but I like you both so much. And
Gosh,
I feel
all
like
right, I'm done.
I feel like
I'm
paying
out.
back. I'm paying back. So hi.
Hey, dude, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? It's been a long time since I've seen your face, both of you.
Has it for
been a
Marianne,
while.
too? I know
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
has been for me,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It has. What are you drinking?
Cheers.
Going with the tried and true gin and tonic.
Lovely.
And I got to credit
Nice.
you. You're the one who brought me back to gin. For probably 40 years, I had from age 16 when I had a bad experience with gin until Marianne kind of like
What are you
talked me back
doing?
in. Talked me back
What are you
in.
doing with a vodka tonic? What kind of heresy is that? What kind of
Delightful.
16-year-old nonsense is that?
But I do have this good gin called Vim and Pedal.
Ooh, sounds
It's from
botanical.
Columbus, Ohio, believe it or not.
You sent me
And
some of that, and I loved it.
it's really
Yeah.
tasty.
Nice.
It makes me feel good.
Too much information. Are you ready to talk hydrangeas, Mr.
Mm,
Beuerlein?
I am. I've been thinking about hydrangeas all day long.
So is most of America, apparently,
Yeah,
because
I think the whole world has
the
been
whole
right now.
world. Aaron calls it the hydrangification. I like what Marianne said, the hydrangement.
The hydrangement of America. I'm not trying to get one up on Aaron on that because I really like hydrangification, but hydrangement
good.
works too.
Derangement,
Yeah.
hydrangement. It's very good.
Mhm.
So many types. All right. I would like to know, Mr. Beuerlein, how many do you grow in your own beautiful garden?
Okay, so I've got oak leaf, I've got smooth, I've got big leaf, I've got climbing, and paniculata. Man, that's like a full house.
Serrata?
Full house, only missing the serrata.
Yeah, I do have it, but it's failing fast. It's just not happy.
I wonder if the macrophylla does well. Why the big leaf? Why?
Well, I'm not saying the macrophylla does well either. But,
Okay. Good to be honest. Good to be honest.
no, I don't know what it is about that serrata, but it's never been happy. And apparently that's the easier one to grow around here.
Huh.
But it could be a one-off thing. I only have one, and I've never really treated it well. It's in a bed that I haven't figured out yet, and I'm always popping things in and out. And,
Which one is it?
it's one of the toughs. Tough
Okay.
Enough or Tough Stuff or Mini Tough or Toughinator.
Obviously not tough enough.
Not for me in my indecision.
I would say that hydrangea is one of those things that a new gardener falls in love with. Did you all, Scott, when you were first beginning to garden, was that one of the plants that was on your
No, it wasn't.
No?
It was well into my gardening career that I even thought about hydrangeas.
Huh.
And then it's like a low grade infection right now. It's sort of it just hangs around, sort of like hostas for me. It's like I don't need another hosta. I'm not going to do another hosta. And then go to the garden center and there's a beautiful hosta, and I'm like, oh God, $25 later, I'm taking it home.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that with
Damn.
hydrangeas. Just once in a while, not as much because they get bigger. They're not as flexible in the garden to use. So I haven't planted one in a few years, but I'm sticking more towards the oak leaves and the paniculatas and arborescens right now.
Do you have a favorite oak leaf?
Well, I did. I would have said ruby slippers hands down for quite a while now. But just 2 or 3 days ago, I was at one of the zoo's community gardens, the one at Rockdale Academy, and from about a mile away, exaggerating, but from a good distance, Gatsby Gal was just a stunner. It
Yeah.
was thick with bloom, all of them really beautifully shaped cones, upright. It was something else.
Are those like really oversized cones or are they fairly proportional to foliage?
I felt like they looked proportional, but they were really dense with flowers. You didn't see gaps. It was like wall-to-wall flowers.
So it's just like one big flowerification on the
Flo
shrub.
or we're doing that? Yeah, flowerification. We're vacationing everything.
Okay. Because that's where I'm always sort of like, I really want a little bit of foliage with my flowers, and I want that proportional feeling with
Mm.
it. So once you got a little closer, were you still as in love, or was it
Oh,
just,
yeah.
wow, that takes your eyes from a long ways away?
No, up close, I was just as in love, and I had to prevent myself from doing something indecent.
Okay. Again, too much
Just
information.
yeah, sorry, you asked. You just lead me to these things, and I can't help myself. It's just
What's the name of the oak leaf that has the getting away from all of that, whatever that was?
and there's always editing, Leslie, there's always editing.
Clearly, I will be a busy girl. What's the name of that oak leaf that has the double flowers that I love and can never
I
not
was gonna remem
Snowflake.
snowflakes.
That is so beautiful. Such
Yeah.
Yeah,
beautiful, and it falls so beautifully.
yeah,
It's a graceful
but is it
a
in
graceful
proportion to
girl.
the foliage? That's the important thing.
As a matter of fact, it is,
Well, that's
I
great.
think. It certainly is at my house because there's definitely more more foliage than flowers.
A little shady maybe. Yeah, I'll tell
A
you what,
shady there.
in that garden at Rockdale, it's all full sun, and that might be part of the reason there's so much bloom on that Gatsby Gal.
Oh.
Maybe in a shadier spot, it would be a little bit more open. Hard to say, but I would bet on it.
And that's a paniculata,
Of course, the foliage.
or no, that's a quercifolia, sorry.
Yeah,
For benefit of listeners who have just tuned in to the Hydrangea channel, 24 hours, all hydrangea, all the time. What are we talking about? So Hydrangea quercifolia, oak leaf hydrangea. Hydrangea paniculata is panicle hydrangea.
But you could argue that the flower shape of an oak leaf hydrangea is also a panicle. So there's that.
It is, but I'm just giving you the common name. Look, I'd rather use the Latin, all right? But since we're all throwing these out here,
Quercus is the Latin for oak, and that's how we get there. So just to help people keep it straight.
yeah,
very cool. And we've got Hydrangea serrata, which is the one that Scott is miserably failing at, which is the
yes.
mountain hydrangea, which tends to be a big leafed lace cap.
Mhm.
Usually, it's always a lace cap, isn't serrata always a lace cap?
Think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a little bit hardier than macrophylla. And macrophylla is our big, beautiful florist hydrangea.
50 different varieties at the garden center.
Yeah. Charming but
Yeah.
unreliable.
Blues and pinks and maybe some reds, a little bit of red,
Yes, there are
Yep.
some reds, and there are questions
purple.
about pruning that some people have, and there are questions about why can't it be blue? But wait, no, I actually want it pink. How do I make that happen? So that's I would say that the macrophylla, phylla being leaf or I say phylla, I don't know why I do, but anyway, that's the one that most people. I think the hydrangification is centered around that
It
particular
is.
group.
It is. Except the arborescens are making a run for it. They're trying, with all the invincibles and incredibles,
Flowerful.
yeah, all of those. They're sneaking in. They're like that horse that's coming around the last turn is just sort of hanging back and probably not gonna win, but everybody's watching it and thinking, "Whoa, boy." And it gets exciting, and then at the end, it's like, "Whoa," they cross, and it's like, "Oh, it was almost there, but it didn't." Am I talking too much?
No, I actually agree. Oh, go
And
ahead.
also you're a radio star, so this is what you do. The name of the radio show that you wanna start watching, if you like the sound of this man's velvet mellifluous tones, is
Yeah,
called
right.
something really dumb, like Radio Talk Gardening with Scott. What is it called?
Yeah, it's Let's Garden with Scott Beuerlein.
There you
I
go.
gave the
So you really
station
focus group that one, huh,
I gave
honey?
him about 15 choices, and I knew that one that was the one I hated the most, and I knew they would choose it, and
I
sure enough,
At least you have a they, okay? We have a we.
We have a way. There's a Jane out there somewhere for us,
my
somewhere
people, all
out
my
there.
people, they took
Oh
that
my
they
god.
looked at that and said,
Throwing up
"Whoa,
in my mouth. Hold on.
these are not what the people want. No, they're too suggestive, they're too whatever it was, and no, this is the safe one, let's go with it." And that's what
And
they
there you
did.
have it.
Saved me from myself.
Well, Scott, I gotta tell you, Leslie came up with the cutest cheat sheet for hydrangeas. She likened them, all of these different species, she likened to people at a party. And Leslie, you gotta give it to us because it's really good and it might actually stick into people's
I
minds.
came up with some on my own.
I think we should compare and contrast, yeah. I think this is apt for oak leaf, which is the one we've talked about most so far. He is the crunchy but casual and sexy ecology teacher because this is native to a lot of places in the United States. So he's looking good, but he's not showing off. Mm-mm.
He's doing the little beard, like
Yeah,
the little ironic beard. Yeah,
he has
total
some
moth to that flame.
Does he
Yeah.
have a lot of sessions in his office with the students?
you too.
Little drink after hours.
Yeah, a little drink, a little marijuana, that kind of
Yeah,
professor, is that what you're thinking?
I think so,
yeah,
but he's good looking. He's good looking.
yeah.
Okay,
Nice
well,
cut bone structure. Yeah.
Mhm.
let's see, for oak leaves, I thought, that it's a very masculine plant.
Mhm.
It's very bold, strong, stout, angular, and even coarse sometimes, even especially in the wintertime.
Okay.
Coarse men are coarse. And this is all despite names like Snow Queen and Alice and Ruby Slippers.
Snowflake.
So what I'm thinking is oak leaves are like our founding fathers during colonial times. They're all men, they're all leaders, strong people, but then they wear these dandified clothes, big puffy sleeves and wigs, and just sort of make themselves look as feminine as they can, and that's what happens when the flowers come on oak leaf hydrangeas.
All right. I like it.
Good.
I like it a lot. Founding gardeners,
Founding fathers.
but they were gardeners. I mean,
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and George Washington were all gardeners too.
So the great thing about these quercifolias is the fact that they are stunning in the fall. I mean, just stunning. Reds, oranges, yellows. That is a 4-season,
Gleaming like in your
not
face red, but like
cherry
the
red,
deep,
but
No,
red.
burgundy,
deep
fine burgundy.
burgundy,
Yeah.
you
Again,
know,
they're complex like that ecology professor.
Yeah.
a good red wine, just the
Yeah,
flavors that come through.
The
yeah.
masculinity reemerges
It does.
because the fluffy white periwigs sort of mute down to these beautiful formations of former flowers.
Very good.
They're still looking like decorations, but they're not quite as, "Oh, that's a
Yeah,
white
it's
wig."
like they came home and took their wig off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still looking fine.
Yeah, still looking
We're
good.
still
Yeah.
talking about hydrangeas, right? I'm
Yeah, we
just
are.
checking
But we
for a
should
friend.
I think
Yeah,
we've devoted enough
Like
time
our
that's right, we
listeners.
were.
to the quercifolia.
Oh, cinnamon bark, come on, peeling
Oh,
cinnamon
not
bark.
only cinnamon, but exfoliating.
What about little honey?
Ooh,
Yeah, and little
when that
honey,
came out,
chartreuse.
Mm, so
mm,
I
different.
love it.
amber, maybe. Is it chartreuse or is it amber?
It's chartreuse in my garden
Okay.
when the sun hits it. Yeah,
When that
yeah.
came out, I saw the pictures, and then I saw it in pots and nurseries. I thought, but since then, I have seen it in gardens in that right spot where it just lights things up.
Yeah.
And it is such a good plant for that nook in a shady garden.
Yeah.
Just fabulous.
The exfoliating bark on a Corsifolia. Love it in winter if you prune it up just right and you can see it from your kitchen window. But moving
And
on.
pruning before we move on, no, pruning real quick because this is
Oh,
a
on the oak leaves, you wanna do it well, like anything, just do it after it blooms.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
You could prune it in winter if you were getting rid of hairy little branches that you were never gonna see next
Yeah,
year anyway. And those,
Mhm.
if those were to flower, you'd never see those flowers because 'cause they're on
right.
the inside of the shrub. But if you want that structure and you want those big, thicker exfoliating branches, don't cut the ends of those, you will miss out on
Right.
some flowers.
It's definitely a plant you can sculpt a little bit. It's kinda open
Mhm.
with its structure, and you can really make it interesting. It does tend to have a few dead branches here and there that you wanna get out, and a few weak branches underneath, and just you can clean it up and make it really a statement.
Yeah.
The
That's what
candelabras in the spring are so beautiful. It's my favorite time when the ferns are coming up
Yeah,
and they're just at the ends, they're opening up. It's like these little candelabras, gorgeous time.
yeah. You're talking about the leaves.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the
So
leaves.
when they emerge,
Yeah,
yeah, they're really incredible.
beautiful time in the garden.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, before we move on, I know Les is going to kill me, but I'm looking for a smaller cultivar that's really tight and gives you that those candelabras. Can you suggest one?
Well, couldn't tell you for the candelabras specifically, but I would think they're all good for that. But peewee or, Sykes dwarf are both really good small ones.
Sykes dwarf?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
that's the one I prefer. I'd have to go back and look at my pictures, but they're both good, but there's one I like a little better.
Marianne, you're frozen for us, or for me anyway. Are we frozen for you?
No, you're not.
Okay. All right.
I'm frozen in an attractive position.
No, here's how you look.
Scott's not frozen, but you are actually, Leslie, which is for the best for me.
You
Oh, dear.
betcha. All right, shall we move on to
Are
arborescens?
you guys always like this snarky with each other, or is it only because a man has joined you?
I would say no, it has nothing to do with your presence.
If we just had a production team, it would be better, okay?
Mm.
All right, let's talk about the arborescens type, the smooth hydrangeas, which Marianne and I have had a running commentary about this because I'm a big fan of Annabella and others. And she would agree with this description. It's a beautiful, let's say we don't know what gender this person is, but it's a beautiful
Oh,
person
no.
that
It's a
Oh,
woman.
it's totally
collapses.
feminine.
It's a woman.
Totally a woman.
She
Yeah.
collapses under pressure.
I would say it's, um, a bodacious plant like Marilyn Monroe and just as needy.
She needs
Mm.
stakes. She needs
Needs
string.
water,
She
it
needs
needs a little help,
pruning.
a little shaping, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't flop too much, but it's in a pretty dry spot,
Ah,
and it
interesting.
wilts more than flops,
Oh.
but it does it's an indicator of like, "Okay, it's time to get out with the hose."
I've been so anti Annabelle for so many years, and I was thinking today that perhaps Leslie's love of this shrub maybe stems from being in Connecticut for a while where your macrophylas were not doing anything for you, or you maybe weren't even growing them. And your Annabelle's going to come back from the ground every year, perhaps. And so it's just so fabulous
You're
and
not
you're
like
loving it.
Annabelle. You're a dark
I
horse.
just because it it just flops. Okay, but I have a caveat. I have a caveat. I
Mhm.
am now trialing this new one from Bailey's called Flowerful, and we're in the second year.
I've seen that, yeah.
I gotta say, I'm only in the second year, but it is definitely showing great promise. I could jockey that horse and maybe take it to the finish line with
Mary Kate,
Flowerful.
yeah,
Possibly. We will talk at the end of the season, but it may be the one that changes my mind.
okay,
But
yeah.
in terms of your, Connecticut theory, let me completely debunk it because
All right, whatever.
the macrophylla hydrangeas in Greenwich, and then you move up toward Cape Cod, and they just become more and more beautiful, much more beautiful than here. So,
Can we
no,
talk about Incredible?
yeah, we can.
Okay, so, Annabelle's like Marilyn Monroe, but needy. Incredible is like Dolly Parton and not needy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's,
Incredible is really rosy red, isn't Incredible red?
no, it's white.
Well, I'm thinking of Invincible.
You're thinking Invincible Ruby, which is a really nice one, but, Incredible's, like, it's pretty good. I mean, as big as those flowers are, it doesn't flop, and I'll tell you, you know, that plant for pollinators is unbelievable. It really attracts them. So, really nice.
And it's a native of
Mhm.
the
Nita. Now the Invincible series, I think, is like the skinny models. For the people who like skinny models, that's what the Invincible series is. You're not gonna have me back, are you?
No, never again. But we'll go to the end of this interview. We'll do that for you.
Yeah.
You're so big on the radio now, you won't come back anyway.
The hydrangea arborescens, is it Hans Halo?
It's Haas,
Haas
Haas.
Halo. That one is a monster. That one I said, okay, I wrote this up today, and I said, "That's like Beauty and the Beast both wrapped themselves in a cocoon, melted into liquid, and emerged from the cocoon with the scary at first, but ultimately delightful because it's the best of both of them. It's got flower power, it's the best one for, pollinators, and it's a beast. It doesn't need anything, it's strong, doesn't flop, all those things.
I forgot about that one.
It's a
That's a
good one,
really
and I
good
don't know
one.
who produces it, but it's out there.
That was an incredible, analogy. Scott, I'm
I
still
put some
reeling from it.
I
Yeah,
worked hard on that. I worked really
you
hard.
could tell. Some of
Yeah,
your best writing,
You
definitely.
Thank you for preparing for our show.
I tried. I gave it a good hour at work.
Okay, so the panicle hydrangea, which I think is definitely my favorite. I love them all, but the panicle, it's just easy. It's
It's just
just
the most
easy.
dependable. Yeah.
It is, and it's something that even if you get it wrong pruning, it's still gonna come back. You're still gonna get flowers. Hard to get it wrong. And it's so exciting, and I cannot remember what you say about that one.
It's an extrovert. It's an extrovert who wants attention, but deserves it, I
Is
think,
that
in
why I
my
like it?
estimation. Like,
It's the one that waited till everybody had their say. It's at the party, everybody's being loud and everything, and then they kinda run out of steam and it goes, "Here's what I have to say."
I
Mid-season,
know.
bam,
It's
and it trumps everybody else. They're all like, "Uh-oh," you know, "Is it time to leave? I think it's time to leave."
at that point, the Annabelles have become toasted marshmallows, and the macrophylla are turning whatever color is not blue or pink. And yeah, the panties are just like,
It's
"And
my
now it
turn.
is my time."
Yeah. And
Mhm.
takes
Yeah,
it all the way through to the fall, so you can
pretty
have,
much.
for some of them, getting a little more blushed, a little more red, a little more dried, and, and then give you that during the winter if you don't wanna take them down, so, yeah, I gotta say, favorite child.
A few years ago, I planted, one of the purple clematis. I think it's Spirit of Poland or Polish Spirit or something like that. And I it planted it, to grow, intending for it to go on a fence, but it's right next to a panicle hydrangea, and it just disappeared. I thought, "Wow, I just lost another clematis," right? Um, but so it grew up into the hydrangea. Never noticed it until, like, 2 years ago. Bam! Purple flowers all over the hydrangea, like now, and then they go away
Gorgeous.
and disappear again, and just in time for the hydrangea to put on its show. It's really, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. I should not say that. I should say it was
You
all
should
planned
not
all
say
along,
that.
but it was a very happy accident.
So favorite panicles, come on, guys, list them out, let's get them.
I mean, I'm loving, Little Lime and Limelight, but you talked me into getting, and I think I got 2 of them, maybe 3 baby laces, new for me, new and tiny. Am I gonna be so
I
happy
sure hope
soon?
so, I love baby lace. I told
Oh,
myself
good.
I wouldn't talk about baby lace on this on this show, this episode, I'm gonna talk about it
But
too
I'm
much.
forcing you to.
Pinky Winky, you gotta give it out. I hate
Ugh,
that
Hate
name
the name.
so
Oh, I won't.
much.
I refuse.
hate
No, I
the
will
name.
not.
Let's rename it Scott, let's call it something else, just between
Oh, I
us.
thought you were like, name it Scott.
No, let's
Sound
not
like
name
you.
it Scott.
No, no, that wouldn't sell either. Um,
But I love
um,
that one. It is a very, very good one.
I've got, I think it's called strawberry vanilla or vanilla strawberry.
Oh, I used to grow
I
that
like
one at
that
my
a
big
lot.
old garden. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
And
Yep.
help me out, Firelight? I think Firelight, which is truly on fire in the landscape. I actually saw that at Andrea Gasper's dairy farm out in Michigan and I was just blown away by the nicely proportional blossoms to foliage, but a lot of blossoms and a lot of foliage. It was awesome.
Bobo is a nice little one. I almost feel like, the flowers are a little too big for the plant.
Yes,
I think a lot
yes,
of people will really like
disproportional.
that,
So vulgar.
but a lot of people love it, and,
Oboe's a useful one because it blooms more in sun, but it does take some shade and
oh,
still blooms. So if you're trying to keep, a hedge or a unified look with sun and shade, then you can use Bobo
that's a good
to good
point
effect.
because there's a building at UC where I pass almost every day on my way to work where, there's, like, a whole row of limelights, and they're stunning, and I don't know what happens, if it's because it starts competing with trees or if it is the end of the line for irrigation. Probably the trees, but the very end of it are these withered, struggling plants where the rest of
Mhm.
it looks so good, and I've always wondered, is it the shade or is it something else?
There's just
Probably
root
shade. The root
competition,
competition,
don't
yeah,
you think? Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Seriously, I wanna know the naming group, the focus group who thought Bobo was a good name for
They should
anything, any plant. Let's name it Bobo. That's a fabulous idea.
I mean, it's better than Pinky Winky, is it not?
I don't think it's better than Pinky Winky. Bobo.
this is where it's good to know guys who can go and punish the people who name plants that. Unanimously, just out of the blue, they're walking out of their house going to work and a lead pipe
So
to
do you
the
make
knee.
that happen on a regular
It's like,
basis?
"Bobo,
Don't be naming
Bobo is
plants. No,
dumb, don't
We
do it again."
we do not in any way, condone the unnecessary violence of Scott Beuerlein on this podcast,
no matter how bad the hydrangea name is. No, listeners, we do not,
no matter how much of a Bobo
I'm
it
sorry, I
is.
didn't condone
we
it
do
either, I
not.
was just joking.
All right, so let's skip macrophylla because that's kind of like the big one, and we have these issues. Although with the
Tell us what
serrata,
it
we
is.
have
Though, tell
issues.
us what big leaf is. What was your analogy for big leaf?
Well, I have the charming but I'm unreliable friend, but what do you have, Scott?
It's, like the bad partner you cannot quit. So, it's like the woman who they hate you until you can't take it anymore, and then they love you just a little bit.
Oh my god.
Just enough to bring you back, and then they hate you more, it's even worse. It's like rinse and repeat. Next thing you know, you've lived 30 years with this person, and it's all been misery.
Poor Michelle.
Is Michelle gonna listen
I
to this? I
don't know.
wonder.
I'm writing her a note right after we get off air. Lord
I
almighty.
I mean, yeah, I just put a lot into these things. I thought it over
I
hard,
I I would say that Leslie is 100% on this. I'm gonna put
and
yours
I'm
into
not.
the dustbin of history. No, Scott, I'm putting Leslie gets the prize for that one because it
Well,
really
he
is a
deserves
charming but unreliable. When that friend is on, they're like awesome
unbelievable.
and
Yeah,
unbelievable,
so
and you
good.
think, "Why don't I hang out with them more often?" And then you find out.
Even
Okay.
when they don't bloom, and it's pretty often that they don't, like 2 years out of 3 that they don't really bloom at all for us here. I don't know if it's the weather and soil and stuff, but when they have that year of bloom, it's great. But even in the off years, the foliage is nice. It's a nice plant,
It's
nice
beautiful.
shape,
It's
nice
lush.
size,
Yeah.
the foliage is good. So if you just ruled out that it could be a blooming spectacular and just thought of it as a plant to have in the garden for foliage, it fills some voids.
It fills some voids in a sort of meh way. Not like, "Let's buy this just for its foliage." I
I
Not
don't
for
it's got
me.
rich, deep greens, blues, and reds in it, and
I would I would not include it unless I had the potential of this wonderful thing happening, which I don't know if you have any recollection, but we were all staring at our gardens because we couldn't stare at anything else. In the late spring of 2020, in
that
my
was a good
area,
year
probably for
here.
you all too,
Great
it
year.
was one of the best years I've ever seen from that my phone is just full of the photographs,
What
and
was it about that
I'm like,
year?
"We deserve this. We deserve it."
It was a long, cool spring.
Okay,
It was one
that was
of the
okay.
longest we've had, yeah. It was
Mm.
fabulous. Still dreaming about it.
And it
It's like we live somewhere else, someplace nice where they can grow things.
Yeah, someplace really
Japan,
good.
England.
All
Yeah.
right, so, just in case you're a beginner gardener who is tracking that, "Wait, are these blue? Are these pink?"
They want to
They got to
see where
start
they're
someplace. Let's
going
start.
with a drink in their hands,
Yeah,
talking about plants
yeah.
with three
These
other
people are having an
senior
alcoholic
citizens.
beverage.
Sad,
Yeah, let's see.
sad
Let's
world.
go see what they have to say. But it is. Everybody talks about, is it pink? Is it blue? And alkaline versus acid in your soil. But that's not quite it. Do you want to
Me?
illuminate us with the aluminum?
Well, it is like the aluminum, which is freed up, like in an alkaline soil, it's sort of bound up. And in a more open, certainly a more acid soil, it's more available. And so
Yeah.
that's the difference. And chemically within the plant, I don't know why or how, but that's the difference between a pink bloom, alkaline soil, and a blue one in soil with aluminum available. Now, some people throw like, what is it, phosphorus down because it sort of dissolves into phosphoric acid. They see some luck getting blue in their flowers from that. Other people just throw, what is it, aluminum sulfate or something,
Yep.
and maybe they
Mhm.
have luck with that. I'm, I'm okay with the pink flowers. You know,
I am
Mhm.
too.
I don't go to a whole lot of trouble.
And I don't know if that's worth my time to try to get the
Right?
blue flowers, but I'm
They're
happy when I see
nice.
them. The combination is actually quite good, sort of like the blueberries and the blueberry juice in my cocktail. It's sort of like
Or like those,
same thing.
what is it, the Pulmonaceae or whatever that family is with Pulmonaria and Virginia bluebells, where the flowers start pink and turn blue, kinda like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would say that, there is a lot of misinformation online and people throwing coffee grounds around as if it's a mood ring or something that you can it's not. You can't. There is science behind it, and if you really care, do your research and see what you can do. Don't just put an aluminum foil cap on and pray.
Well,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
it
and
yeah.
Scott, you
might be an
really
option.
sounded like you knew what you were talking about there, so kudos for that.
Wasn't
Really?
That
that
was
amazing?
amazing. It was a little science moment with
Yeah.
with Scott Beuerlein, so I knew we brought him on for some reason. Pruning on these guys before we move on to the next group. This is a plant, obviously, you don't get that bloom because it's been crushed to the ground by your winter, and then there are a few stems that seem to make it, and then they get completely taken out by your late freeze. And that's why you're not getting it. So if you then go in, if you actually have a decent winter and you go in hacking away at all of those actual live stems, you're going to lose your bloom. So
That's what you are cutting your
But
blooms.
the rebloomers, I think they'll come up on new wood some.
So let's talk about those. So Endless Summer, and that was mid-90s when
Mm,
that came about, right? It
was
was
it
a
that
yeah,
the
long
thing,
ago?
and
it
Wow.
really was. We're old, guys.
yeah,
We are
I think
Yeah.
old.
we're so old. But as soon as I got 1 or 2, I believe, I was very excited about the rebloom. That made me happy to think about that, and then they just weren't quite as good as the Nico Blue that I had in
Really?
another part of the garden.
But Nico Blue, is that a rebloomer?
No,
Okay.
but I just like the blue better.
They do have a lot of new Endless Summer because Endless Summer became a series, and they
Yeah.
have a lot of new ones that have improved on it. I can't say that I have a lot of experience with that, although I have been sent trial plants because the deer would just eat them down, and
Oh,
I'd see a hydrangea and think, "Oh, man." So I'm really hoping to get into some hydrangification, thank you, Erin Shannon, of this property over the next few years and
well,
maybe try some of these remontants out and see how they're doing.
I've got
And,
Bloomerang and probably also Bloomerang purple, and they're doing fine, you know?
Okay.
The same problem as any macrophylla as far as just, some years are gonna be good and other years, they hate you. The color is really nice. It is truly a purple, even in my
mhm.
Is
relatively, well, neutral soil.
Has either of you ever taken to, actually getting out the beach blankets when you see the buds forming and you hear the frost coming? Do you ever take steps to
Never.
try to save
I'm
those
too lazy
blooms?
That
to gr
no,
No?
I'm covering up the Regersea, which is like I cannot stand it when that gets hit. So there's so many other things that are more worthy of my time because the deer would just eat them. I would cover them and then, oh, if they got through, yeah. So no, I think not. I think I'm really looking as we start moving into this new world of very late freezes, warm up, late freeze, of just figuring out what's gonna make it through, what's gonna do well, paniculata. Yeah, and arborescens. Oh, man, did I just
Oak
say
leaves.
that out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
arborescens, oak leaves.
Oak leaves always perform every year. You don't have to worry about them.
Oh,
They really do
they're
unless you
just
prune
fine. They're
them
good
like an
to go
idiot. Yeah.
because you don't know. Our new listeners are not idiots. They are learning.
They're probably judging us right now and everything we're saying is wrong.
What about the serrata? Are those equally, prone to getting into trouble in
I
a
don't
late
know.
frost? Serratas?
Yeah, mine have,
Not
and
very
the ones that I have, I had Tokyo Delight and Bluebird, and both of those suffered the late frosts that I've had. I think it's really different wherever you are. You gotta figure out
Yep.
what you're dealing with your microclimate and what's gonna do well for you.
But you are home free with quercifolia, the oak leaf, or with the,
Yeah.
smooth, the
Are you
arborescens?
completely home free with quercifolia? Like, completely home free?
Well, I've never experienced
'Cause
any
it's not
trouble.
all wood. I mean, it's hardy. I've had years that was a lessened bloom, that it wasn't, like, full
Hmm.
on, and I wondered if,
With my
I lost
Annabelle,
some,
some
but
years the flowers are definitely bigger than others. And I don't
Mhm.
know if
Mhm.
that's drought in the spring or in the fall or the summer before, or if that's something in the spring. I've never had a year where there has not been bloom on any of my arborescens or on my oak leaves.
Is it possible, do you know, with the arborescens, such as an Annabelle, to prune it so that you would get, bigger because you have fewer stems? I don't even know, but I just feel like that's a possibility.
I think that's a possibility too. Yeah.
That's what I want, even bigger blooms on an Annabelle. Ah, can't wait.
More vulgarity, more of
Yeah,
it.
bodaciousness. Bodaciousification.
The, moving on to the serrata, the mountain hydrangeas, so I have that as a perfect feminist, lacy, but hardy because they are, we think, all lace caps, or at least most of them are lace
Yeah.
caps. What do you have?
I didn't come up with one for that.
She doesn't merit any of your attention.
He's a little bitter because it's just not performing in his garden. Doesn't like
Yeah,
him, so
yeah.
he has nothing.
Mm-mm.
He has nothing, but I
No.
do like that, lacy but hardy, because I have completely outright lost macrophyllus where the serratas have been fine, and so, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, there you
so
go.
they are
Yeah,
hardier. With the lace cap situation, do we know, or do we just think, I definitely think, that they are better for pollinators because of the formation of their flowers? Sort of
that's a
umbellifer
good
type
question.
of situation?
It's the difference between the sterile and the fertile florets, right? So, you just want more of those fertile ones, which are the tiny, tiny little
In
flowers.
the center.
So, and actually, when I'm growing snowflake quercifolia, I think, how much for pollinators is there, and how much is just for me? Um, because
The flurf,
it
so much flurf.
got yeah, all the fleur for me. But the more of those little tiny, tiny, tiny little flowers you've got, the better off you are, and those are the
And that's
fertile
where you'll
ones.
see them. And usually it's the
Yeah.
little guy, it's little flies and little wasps.
Yeah, going back to the arborescens, that Haas halo, that was, did I ever grow that myself? I just cared for a bunch of them, with my business, and they were always covered with bugs. They
What
were
was
very
that?
cool. When I ran my gardening business is supposed to, or when we mentioned Great
Or
Dixer, we
at
have a little
Great
bell.
Dexter. This is to keep us, in check, this little
Okay.
bell.
Yeah, yeah.
When's your next trip, Marianne, to Great
Well,
Dixter?
actually, it was last week. I was there
Oh,
last
wow.
week, as a matter of fact.
Of course.
It was looking very good. It was looking very, very good. Perfect time.
All right, let's finish up the hydrangea list with the climbing, and this is a great plant because it has that exfoliating
Yeah,
bark, so it has that good look in
Mhm.
winter. It can be pruned beautifully. It can also take over. So I have it as the quiet person who eventually owns the building that it's climbing up over. But it is so
yeah.
quiet as first
Yeah.
because it's like year 1, it sleeps. Year 2, it sleeps. Year 3, it's not
Mm.
even waking up. And then the creeping and the leaping
Later,
are later,
much later. I
right?
called it's like a credit card, small and shiny, pretty colors, very useful. A few years go by and suddenly you realize it owns you, you know?
This is so
That
Yeah.
true.
is very good.
No, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like
That is very good.
2 or 3 years ago, we had that, polar vortex where it dropped from 60 at 9 o'clock one night to -8 the next morning. And this is in December after it had been pretty warm. And almost all the climbing hydrangeas around here died back hard. They didn't die completely, but very hard. So that was a surprise because up until then, this was a plant that was you thought was bulletproof,
Mhm.
and now
Mhm.
it's that was probably a once in 100 years, hopefully, event.
Yeah, funny how it can't take a 40-degree drop. Geez, what a wimp.
40, that was like 60, 68-degree drop.
Within just a few hours, and that's the difference, isn't it? I mean, if that drop had happened over the course of 3 days, it would have made far less of a negative impact.
I thought all the brick buildings were gonna shatter. Nothing could get that flash frozen so fast and not break apart. But the brick buildings did hold up here. The hydrangea, climbing hydrangea didn't take it as well.
And do you all grow that now? I do
I
not have
do.
one of
I
those
have it on a
now.
fence.
I have it over a stump because at my last house, I had it on a north wall and it did beautifully. But when we needed to paint and pulled it off, and the suckers, as a 30-year-old, I'm sort of like, yeah, let it go, woohoo, and and then you just start getting older and just so much more conservative with your, oh, I'm gonna have to paint that.
Mm.
If I put
Yeah.
that on that
No, it's
wall, it can go on that stump there, it'll be fine.
I had one growing in the perfect place, I did not plant it, it was fully mature by the time I got to Minor Road, and it hid me if I wanted to have a cocktail on a porch from neighbors.
Your alcoholism from your neighbors, I love it.
I'm wondering,
It's
like,
an
what were
enabler.
you wearing or not wearing that you had to hide from the neighbors?
But it was such a beautifully planted thing, but it was just on wooden lattice, and I only lived in that house for, sadly, only 9 years. But as you said, Marianne, by the time you get to be, "Okay, and now I'm 60, and I have to get out a very tall ladder, not just the regular step ladder, I have to get out the orchard ladder, and I have to pull all the bits off the painted part of the building and see if I can keep this wooden lattice from crumbling." So, no, I would not do that again. I think I've had
And
my
even
day
by the
with
time
that
you hit
plant.
50 and you've now at this point experienced either fallen off a ladder yourself once or twice and have a lot of friends who have fallen off ladders, it starts to like you start to pay attention. You just don't think about all that
Yeah.
stuff when you're younger.
So
So I do have it. I actually do want to put it in a place where it can show itself off. And one of the things that Pam Harper had in her garden down in Seaford, Virginia, the garden writer and late garden writer, wonderful lady. She grew it up old snags, trees from trees she'd planted 30, 40 years before that had finally had to come out. And she hadn't brought them down to a stump. She just brought them to like a 20-foot snag. And then she'd grow a hydrangea, climbing hydrangea over the top of it. So I always loved that.
I
I'm
tried that
planning on
once
doing
with a
that.
silver maple. It was like, I can cut it down to 30 feet by myself, 20 feet by myself. But after that,
Oof.
I need to hire somebody, and it was like, "No, I don't have the money, I'm not gonna spend the money." So I had this 30-foot, 20-foot stump of a silver maple, which I actually had a climbing hydrangea growing on,
Yeah.
and, it only lasted like 10 years before it fell over and busted up a stone wall and just
Oh.
demolished a flowering dogwood. It's like it had eyes. It's like, "I'm going for that tree right there," you know? Boom.
You've always been more beautiful than me,
Yeah, it was jealousy. It was
taking
a
you
lot
out.
of
It's
jealousy.
all jealousy. All right, so we're neither, condoning the use of a snag in a garden, with with
Well,
hydrangea,
it
nor
was
denying it.
okay. It was in the back. It didn't kill anybody.
Poor dogwood.
Yeah, this dogwood.
I think that we've hit except for we did have a few others that are sort of out there are a lot of hydrangea, but a couple others that we've talked about in the past, which are, Hydrangea villosa and Hydrangea involucrata. Blue bunny, your
Yep.
blue bunny and the villosa has those sort of furry leaves. I know that when I'm with plant nerd friends and we're walking through a garden and there's a Hydrangea villosa, they're all over it like white on rice, and I'm going, "Yeah, but is it really beautiful?" No, I have seen it grown. I have seen it grown really well. When it's grown really well, yes. But when it's just sort of alive and it's there to say, "Hey, look, I'm rare," and or I don't know how rare, but
Well, so what's the attraction? Are the flowers good too, or are they just like
yeah, the
furry leaves?
flowers are good. They're sort of they're smaller and they're
Are they
they're
lace cap?
pink.
Are they
They're
mop
lace
head?
cap. Scott, can you weigh in on
Mm.
this?
No, I haven't seen either plant.
Oh, I could talk about the blue bunny though.
Okay,
Blue
yeah, you
bunny?
can because you thought Blue Bunny was Bluebird, and that's a whole different one. And I
I can talk about it for a long time being wrong, but this time I'm prepared. If you wanna ask me about blue bunny,
oh, hold on a
I
minute.
know what I'm talking about today.
So, Leslie, this isn't awkward. How about Blue Bunny? Have you ever grown it?
I have gotten it mixed up with bluebird. However, I do grow it, and it is such a cool plant. So it's the involucrata, and what's really neat about it, you're talking about the pannies being late. Well, this is even later. It's forming these tree peony-like buds in August, and then it finally comes out to play at the end of August and into September. It is a very cool plant.
Every time you say panty, I think panty, and I just want you to know that.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
just
I
cannot.
was in the trade when I
Oh,
ran my business. It was panties and
every time it's happening. Okay. Okay, so what do we say about those all those other hydrangeas? Those are just like the weirdos in the corner talking amongst themselves who are incredibly knowledgeable, and you wish you were them, but you're not. So, they're not gonna invite you in. That's the thing.
You used to wish you were them, now you just hate.
Now you just hate them.
Yeah.
That's right. They've got their berets on, they're smoking their long cigarettes. They're looking at you with
They
condensation.
use words you've never heard
Condescension.
before.
It's like because you said condensation instead of
Yeah.
sensation, and and scorn. Yes. That's it. That's it. Those are our people.
All right, enough about hydrangeas. Hang on for a minute, everybody, and we're going to talk about 2 more plants. Damn, I wish I planted that.
I'm surprised actually that we were able to bring new life to hydrangea. I didn't think we could do it, but that was fun, guys.
We wore it out too, I think. There's nothing left. There's going to be no further discussion in the world about hydrangea. Yeah, we dropped the mic.
We dropped the mic.
We want to say a big hello and a big welcome to our newest paid mixers. Judith Clark Gardens, Paula Parr, Amy Lewis, and Linda Ritter Walker. Welcome and
Whoa. Linda Ritter Walker?
yes.
She's my golf buddy.
No way. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Scott, it's embarrassing. This woman keeps like forcing her friends to become one more
I didn't know
sippers. Like
that
she
she would
stands
do that.
over them.
I did not.
Cheating.
I am so, Linda,
Yeah.
thank you. I had no idea
She-
that she would do that, and I did not make her do that. She's a fabulous golfer and person, and I know she listens, but that's okay. I'm very flattered.
Okay, maybe she did it for me. Okay, just saying.
We got a new review on Apple Podcasts, and that is from Mark Bear, who I've met. I'm proud to say, he lives up in New York, and he came to see my garden, but my big garden before he moved away. He said a lot of things about that we had helped him in the Big Fat Peony episode sort of sort through his collection that he had inherited, and then at the end he says, "Thank you for your knowledge and comic banter." We're winning on that. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. We
Winning.
also had a comment from Erin. We are winning. From Erin Shannon, who calls herself the impatient gardener. And she said she dropped a couple of comments on our latest episode, but the one that I thought was worth reporting in case he's listening, Howard Nemiroff is a god. So, a container god. A container god.
He sort of is a container god. It's true.
All right, quick updates on Deer Fence and Leslie Front Garden. You go first on your deer fence, but you're not going to talk about the deer fence. You're going to talk about something more fun, right?
I'm not, although Erin's been texting me today about the fact that her deer fence is up, or it's
Yay.
mostly up, and she's corralling deer right now, but soon she'll be pushing them out.
Getting out the brand, getting out the crossbow. Little venison stew for dinner, honey. This is great.
Yeah, so my deer fence update is that I came home to plants. I've been in the UK for 2.5 weeks. Guiding a tour with Horticultural, and we went all through the southeast, through Sussex and Kent, and we went to the Chelsea Flower Show. And normally in this situation, when I come back home, I have death, destruction, sadness, lots of gin. to make it all better. Michael has gone through like $400 worth of spray trying to keep the things at bay. And I walked down to the lower part of the garden in the morning I got back, and I actually sort of went, "What the heck is that?" And it was a Tradescantia that I planted a bunch of them. I've never seen them bloom ever. I and they were bright purple and sort of, "Oh, that's a little shocking. I don't think I like that there." But I'd never seen it bloom in like 10 years. So what did it matter?
Uh-huh.
So that's sort of my deer fence update is still basking in the afterglow. Definitely basking, smoking the cigarette, basking in the glow.
Yeah, okay. Still sadness and lack of action on my part in terms of trying to get the garden in the front yard. Scott, I live in an HOA now, and I went thinking, I've got this. They'll love this plan. They did not.
Mhm.
Too many plants. But one part of it has been fixed up, and that is the people who pull into my driveway and want to walk to my front door are now, as of tomorrow, not going to be walking on wet grass. They'll be walking on a brick path. So we're going one step at a time, and that is the latest progress.
I think that's major progress.
I'm trying.
Okay, well, good for you. Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight.
Hang on a minute for damn, I wish I'd planted that.
All right. Damn, I wish I'd planted that. This is the part of the show where we talk to you about a couple plants that are doing well right now, whether it's blooming or just gorgeous foliage like that hydrangea macrophylla of Scott's. It's doing something, and you wish you put it in your garden. And let's start. Shall we start with Scott? What's yours, Scott? This is for the end of June.
Okay. The first one has got to be Aurelia alata variegata.
Ooh, a new Aurelia.
Well, it's not new. It's been around forever and ever and ever, but very rare all the time. But I was introduced to that by my friend Peter Zale very early on in my horticultural life. And actually, it was the the plant he got for his 16th birthday because he was a plant nerd, as a kid. Instead of a catcher's mitt, he got an Aurelia alata variegata. Sent his parents searching for
Why couldn't he just want a transformer?
yeah, put it in a box and wrap it up. Anyway, I have only seen that plant maybe 10 or 15 times in my life. It is breathtaking every single time. And if I had planted it back then, early on, however many decades ago, it would be a big, bold statement in my yard right now. And it's tough. I mean, you're not gonna lose it.
Is it tough to find?
It is, you have to go pretty much mail order and 1 gallon and nurse it for a few years, and
So describe it to us. Why is it so beautiful?
so it's an Aurelia, so it's in the wintertime, it's just stems, a few big, tall stems, but then it puts on this double what do you call it? Doubly pinnate leaves. So all of a sudden, what was just really a kind of a coarse thing becomes this wedding gown of, beautiful foliage that crosses over itself, and the variegation is this the I'm not really big on variegation, but this is the prettiest variegation you'll ever see. It's white and green. You can see it from space, I'm pretty sure. It's just an amazing plant. It's really beautiful.
Wow.
Ooh, me likey very much. Oh, I'm always happy
Mhm.
to find
That
new
is cool.
Aurealias. Awesome. I mean, new to me is what
Yeah,
I mean.
I'm sure it's out there, but I don't know where right now. I mean
There are some funky plants on Etsy.
oh, really? Okay. Huh.
I mean, I
Very
don't know
cool.
that plant is there.
Yeah. So what are the zones on that? Do you know? You said it was hardy. Yeah, what does hardy mean in your vocabulary
I was
there,
just saying
Mr.
it's tough.
Beuerlein?
It's hardy here. I don't know how far north you go, but,
Well, Peter's
um, eh
in Philadelphia area, so
well, at the time, he was, Cincinnati and slash Columbus, Cleveland. Actually, he was growing it in Cleveland. So
okay.
that's zone 5, unless right by the lake. I don't think he was by the lake. So zone 5, say, and maybe hardier. I think the Raelias tend to go pretty far up and cold. I don't know what kind of heat it could take. I think it's from native to Japan, so kind of that gives you a little bit of an idea.
Mhm. That sounds like a very cool plant.
Yeah,
Now I'm glad we invited Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
finally.
finally it's paid off. Yeah, and I mean, I'm praying that your plant is more common than mine actually, Leslie, so I don't look like the
Mm.
heel here, but, what do you got?
No, mine is pretty common, but, I would say that yours, knowing what it is slightly more common, but this is a rather in a good way. I mean, in that you grow it and you're gonna love Marianne's plant. Mine is also a good one. This is the Salvia guaranitica, and my favorite type of this is the black and
I
blue.
was gonna say that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah, because I haven't planted as a perennial and once in a while as an annual, but it's perennial now.
It can be
Can
perennial
be.
now. It can get to zone 7A, and, it came back a lot for me when I grew it at Minor Road. I haven't grown it here. I used it a ton for containers,
Mhm.
and that I treated it as an annual.
Yeah.
One of the so this is a salvia that grows to it's crazy when you look it up on Missouri Botanical, it says it can grow from 2 to 5 feet tall, which is a huge range. I
Mm.
think of it as 3, 4 feet. I don't see the
it
2,
wants
I
to
don't
I
see
it
the
only
5.
wants
see
to
3.
reach, if you don't have it in
Mm.
full sun, it'll really reach, so,
And it will
yeah.
flower. It is a magnet for hummingbirds. It has that
Yeah.
wonderful tubular thing that they just love. It has is the black calyxes, but the blue
So
cobalt blue,
dark stems.
yeah, dark stems, and it's just one of the coolest things about it is the smell of the foliage. I love pruning that plant or cutting it to bring it inside to put flowers in the vase. It smells really groovy. I don't know what, sort of an aromatic smell. Can anybody describe that? I cannot. It's good.
Resinous, I
Good.
think. I always think of it as a resinous scent, and I thought I mine has been hardy for me because I'm growing it up against a barn that's pretty warm, but I haven't checked on any emerging foliage this year after that cold winter, so we'll see.
Ugh.
We'll see if I'm gonna be sad because it is a beautiful plant.
It starts blooming in, right about when this drops, and it's gonna go until frost, and black and blue is one of my favorites, but a couple of other ones that I just wanted to mention. So this is the Salvia guaranitica, people call it anise-scented shade, and 2 other ones that I've seen grow too. I saw this one in the, Chelsea Physic garden, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." It's Argentina Skies, has
Mhm.
a really light blue flower. Have you
What
ever
a
seen that?
great name. Okay, Bobo Pinky Winky people,
Wake up.
get with the program. Argentinian skies? Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'll buy it on the name alone.
You don't feel cringy when you buy it?
No, no, you
No.
No.
just think of the
You
I just
think
just
of
think of the sky, and it is blue. It is really blue, and Amistad is a really
And
good
the
one because it's
I've always loved the Argentinian flag for that blue. I wonder
yeah,
if they're matching that, but yeah.
maybe they were.
Mm.
So that is my plant, and Marianne, what do you have?
I
You have a
I
good
am.
one. I like this one.
I'm gonna bring it down to the lowest common denominator, but one that I adore, which is Verbena bonariensis. And
Oh, yeah.
speaking of, and I'm gonna double glass this it here because this is my favorite look. Speaking of Argentinian and common names, folks, this is why we call it what it is, because here's all the common names for this one. Argentinian vervain, Brazilian verbena, Brazilian vervain, cluster top verbena, purple top, tall vervain, vervain, lollipop plant. How about we just say
Oh, that's allium.
Verbena bonariensis? And this is a plant that they're starting to do shorter versions of it. It's fairly tall, 3 feet. It's an annual, short-lived perennial in zone 7 to 11. I can grow it here as a perennial in my warmer spots, but it seeds itself all over the place, and those are
It does.
going to give you what you need for the season. It's a very Mediterranean feel, even though even though it's Argentinian, Brazilian.
Mhm.
It's a very Mediterranean feel, and it's if you're looking for transparent plants, plants that you see through
Yeah.
in the garden, that's your baby. It gives you that little bit of purple on the top, but it is these little wands that are just coming straight up, even in not deep shade, but partial shade, it still grows
Mhm.
remarkably straight. It's cheap as heck. I mean, you're literally throwing out the seed for it. And it's just a terrific accent here or there. It makes you suddenly feel like you're, yeah, and the salvias the lavenders and the santalinas are brushing your ankles, and there's the verbena bonariensis there, and there's Paolo waiting for you at the, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, at the end of the drive. But it's just a really, really beautiful, wonderful accent plant. So
Yep.
grow
I
it,
like
love
it
it.
poking through shorter perennials,
Yeah.
you know? It looks great that way. And you're not gonna find a better pollinator plant.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's
It is
crazy.
covered.
Yeah, it is
It's
as good
covered.
as it gets. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right up there with, Pygmantinum, Muticum, and anything you can name. Everything from big, butterflies and bumblebees down to the tiniest insects. I don't know what it, and it's in bloom now. It started blooming for me maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's gonna go all the way to the first hard frost.
Spring till frost and
And it takes up so little space in the border, so if it does appear as a self-sower in the front of your border, you're like, "You are welcome," because 'cause you're not hurting anything, and you're just reaching right up to almost to my nostrils,
It's easy
so
to pull, string trim
it
if it shows up where you don't want it, you can do it so easily.
yeah, easy to edit.
I have tried to bush it up by pruning it back. It doesn't really do. I mean, it doesn't maybe a little bit, but,
It
um,
wants to be airy.
yeah, it really wants to be kinda airy is the
airy.
right
That's a
word.
good word, Les. That's a great word.
Mhm.
And, they're starting to breed smaller ones. I trialed some Vanity last year, which was fine. It was good. And then there's a new one that's just come to me, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I haven't grown it yet, so we'll see. But half of me is sorta like, "Why are we doing this? Do we need to be compact on this?" I just don't
I don't
feel like
know.
we do. It doesn't take up so much space that you need it.
Yeah.
I would always wanna grow just the original. For that reason and for the fact that my mother-in-law, who was a gardener, used to call it Verbena brontosaurus, and that always just kinda tugged at my
I knew it was coming,
heartstrings.
That's as
babe.
good as condensation. I mean, let's just do that. Verbena brontosaurus.
I
Yeah, I
All of
love
mean,
us.
it.
it's a
Let's make a pact. We'll do it.
okay, we'll do it.
Throw it.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I think we've landed this hydrangea plane. All passengers are alive and intact. We got through it. I didn't leave. I actually enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys out there, our listening audience, enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you next time.
You know what a professional would do right now, Marianne?
No kidding.
They would thank their guest.
I was like, we have a guy
You
here.
know what, Scott? You're so much a part of my life that you're just sort of like the furniture in the corner of the room. The old furniture, but still the furniture. Thank you, Scott, for joining us from your busy, busy schedule. And we'll make sure to contact your people next time to see if you can even take 2 minutes out of your schedule to see us again.
Please, that would be great. Yeah. If you have trouble getting through, just, text me.
Little people like me can even.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.